Curriculum. So in today's session, we will go over the College and Career Readiness curriculum. With this curriculum here at Texas OnCourse, we want to ensure students are equipped with the necessary knowledge, skills, tools, and resources to successfully plan for the present and future. And in our session today, we will highlight enhancements we made to our lesson plans and corresponding student modules as well. But first, I want to introduce our lovely professional learning and engagement team. I am your host today. My name is Jared Garza. I am the network marketing coordinator today, or I'm the network marketing coordinator. We are led by our wonderful leader, Laura Guggen, Director of Professional Learning and Engagement. I'll go ahead and let Laura say hi to everybody.
Hi, good morning. I hope everyone got a chance to see Totality Eclipse yesterday, made it back to work. We are the Professional Learning and Engagement Team, PLE. So if you receive the playbook and send emails, Jared has been with us for over 6 months now. And so if you receive emails from us and updates, he sends those out. Andrea and Lauren are not here this morning because they were doing a presentation on My Texas Future at TACAC. Some of you may have been at TACAC the last couple of days. You may be there now. But we had part of our team there presenting at TACAC in Lubbock, and they're traveling back today. And so I'll turn it over, and you can pop to the next slide, Jared, because Jamie Bell is joining us this morning. Jamie?
Hi, everybody. I look so much different. I've chopped my hair off since I've given you all that picture. But I'm Jamie Bell. I'm the program specialist for our middle school content and resources. So I work with the curriculum and anything to do with really a lot of student-facing items that y'all see. Before this, I taught middle school, 7th grade science, 7th and 8th grade science for 10 years. So middle school is my happy place. I love it. And I'm excited to share what we have for you today. And I did get to see the eclipse yesterday. Very exciting.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. So here's our agenda today. For today. Right now we're doing the welcome and the overview of our presentation, and then I'll switch it over to Jamie where she will take a deep dive of the College and Career Readiness curriculum. We will then go over to ways to implement this curriculum in your classrooms, and then also look over Academy resources through our Academy Spotlight, and then we'll have time for Q&A at the end of the presentation. First, I do want to highlight our professional learning series. We do offer monthly webinars with a variety of topics, but also this year we introduced coffee chats. Coffee chats are a great way to converse with other educators, bounce ideas off of each other, and basically continue the conversation of our webinar. It's a great way to connect with others, and I definitely enjoy it. Our next monthly coffee chat will be continuing the conversation on the Texas OnCourse College and Career Readiness curriculum. You can scan that QR code there to register. We will have registration details in a resource document that will be included in our follow-up email later on this week. But the coffee chat will be April 30th at 10 a.m. And for all you planners out there like myself, I love planning. Most definitely love planning. Here is our monthly professional learning series schedule. Our next session will be on May 14th, which is Exploring My Texas Future and Apply Texas. My Texas Future is an exploratory resource designed to enable, inspire, and propel all Texas students towards degree and credential attainment, while also providing them with a clear path to job opportunities. In that session, we will show you how My Texas Future will jumpstart an Apply Texas students application. We do also have 2 spring outreach sessions remaining for the spring semester. Our next session will be Thursday, April 25th at 10 a.m. and that will be over building our culture of college and career readiness. And our session after that will be My Texas Future, College and Career Readiness starts here, and that will be Thursday, May 23rd at 10 a.m. Hope to see you all there. And our mission here at Texas OnCourse is to provide advice and professionals with the resources and community they need to deliver exceptional college and career advising to every student. With every resource that we create here at Texas OnCourse, we always have this mission statement in mind. We do want to make sure that every student that goes through high school is prepared for life after high school. But first, I do want to ask a question to the audience. I will be launching a poll. So in this poll, you'll have beginner, average experience as your choices. But how much experience do you have with the Texas OnCourse College and Career Readiness curriculum? Let me go ahead and launch that poll now. So I'm seeing a lot of beginners, it's like a mix right now. I'm seeing a lot of beginners, a lot of average. Okay. So awesome. Thank y'all for participating in that. That's great it's great for us to see this information for sure. Just to get a scope of like how familiar with that you are with the curriculum. So it's awesome. Thank y'all. And now I will pass it over to Jamie, who's going to take a deep dive into the College and Career Readiness curriculum.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. Just real fast, I just wanted to see if I could get a little bit of a qualifier on in the chat. If you could say what you think beginner, you've opened it, you've downloaded it, you've done a lesson, or if you average, have you used more than 2 or 3 lessons? Do you use it in a class? Experienced, I would love to know what the experienced folks consider. And for some reason, I'm not seeing the chat. Okay, I see it now. Just real fast, I wanted to get the answer to that for my own curiosity, since it's what I surveyed the website, but have not used, is beginner, wanting to learn more about how to curriculum, high school for adults. Okay, great. I'll love to see more of those answers. And I really think, okay, great. I do think that this is going to be really helpful. Okay, we can go to the next slide. So hi everyone, I appreciate your time today. The College and Career Readiness curriculum is a fantastic resource for educators who want to start teaching or introducing their students to college and career topics. It's full of resources within the resource itself. Each unit includes lesson plans, descriptions, student activities, and the lessons can be used in many ways. The curriculum is designed for middle school students, but some of the activities could be used for high school or beyond. There's really no age limit to a lot of the discussion topics. The curriculum is designed for middle school, but could be used anywhere. Also, each of the 4 units has a corresponding online student module that we're going to deep dive into a little bit today. So we'll begin by discussing how to implement this curriculum and how it can help you meet the needs of your students. At a high level, this Texas OnCourse College and Career Readiness curriculum walks students through self-discovery first, so that they can start thinking about and planning with the end in mind. So really backward design, backward planning. Even though it's a large PDF, we added links to make it clickable and easier to navigate. And finally, we created free online modules that follow along the curriculum so lessons can be easily shared and students can guide themselves through a lesson. Next slide. So just talking high level about each of the units. Unit 1, envisioning success. The keyword is all self here. Self-discovery, self-reflection, self-advocacy. The lessons are designed for students to think about what they want and how to advocate for it. They will also take some self-assessments. Career interest quizzes really that will have them think about where they want to go and what's the purpose of planning without an end goal, really driving that point home. A lot of students will ask, why am I doing something? This is why, your goals. And ending with career, what is the purpose of planning without an end goal? Even if the ending career changes over time, they will be equipped with skills they need to navigate the course forward. In Unit 2, we spend time discussing career pathways, career clusters, not just one career, but how to build how careers can build over time with more education and more experience. In Unit 3, the students learn about a variety of post-secondary options and, more importantly, the role education plays in their career development. And wrapping up with Unit 4, we explain all their high school options now that they know where they want to go, and an idea of how to get there. Students can start adding meaning to their high school course selection. On the next slide, this is a view of our scope and sequence. Those are great for just planning at the outset of a semester or a chunk of time. It gives you an idea of how long each unit will last and the lessons within. So there's an estimated time frame, lesson titles, and the essential questions that guide the unit. At the end of each of the scope and sequence, there's a student module link. This is what you can share with students. It will take them to an online version of the entire unit, where they can easily follow along, and we'll deep dive more into those in a few slides.
Jamie, I did just pop the
Yes.
link for Unit 1 right in the chat.
Great, thanks.
Mhm.
So yeah, if y'all want to go in there, I'll show you guys live in a minute. I think my internet will be okay. This is an example of a unit overview. For this unit, Envisioning Success, you see everything in the structure of the unit here. This includes an overview, the essential questions, the guiding themes for the unit, enduring understandings, big ideas and key concepts, which is a great pre-vocab list, as well as a description of the performance assessment at the end. Each unit has a performance assessment as well as assessment bank of questions, which we're going to be adding more to soon. And it's based on the TEKS and very heavily on the McWiggins and Ty Understanding by Design structure. So on the next one, we have a preview of a lesson plan itself. These are very thorough. There's an overview, time frame, materials required, as well as the TEKS cross-disciplinary standards, any supporting standards or objectives, which is great for sharing with administrators. We have the procedure, and beyond the procedure, what you can't see, we have another page of extension opportunities, differentiation options, even formative assessments you can use in this unit, as well as reflection and other engagement strategies you can use in the unit, or sorry, in the lesson. So it's a very comprehensive lesson plan that you can take and tailor for your class and students. Next. I am going to now share my screen, and we are going to do a live demo. So okay, this is starting with Unit 2. Let me quickly move my little navigation bar. That's not what I wanted to do. But so Unit 1 here, the students will click into the unit, and there's an introduction to each unit written to them with a kid-friendly way of reading the objectives and the goals for that unit.
Just so you know, Jamie, we see Unit 2.
Oh, okay. It popped out. Pause. So yes, Unit 1, you can see the introduction here. And again, the kid-friendly version of the goals for the unit.
So we still see Unit 2, Jamie. Sorry.
Oh, still? No.
Yeah, so maybe
it
might just be sharing Unit 2 only in that only window if you want to.
I'll just go to that then. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, so people can.
So Unit 2, again, little introduction here. We tried to keep the chunks of reading minimal. And you have the goals for the unit. What are we thinking about? As well as a few vocabulary words that the students can interact with. So, and then they click into the unit and it goes right to the first lesson with what it is you want them to know from that first lesson. We want you to understand career clusters here. There's a breakdown. There's also places where they will stop and write things down to turn into you as a teacher if that's something you want. There are links to different surveys, Texas Career Check or CareerWise.
Amy, can you pause for a second?
Yeah.
We only see unit 2, and someone just popped that in the chat.
Still, it's not sharing.
That's correct.
Okay, do you see that?
Now we see unit 2 after this lesson, and now it's scrolling.
Great. Okay.
Thank you. I just want you to
Let me
keep
go back.
going.
I'm not sure why that's doing that. I did something wrong. I'm certain of it. So let me go back and show you all that introduction again. So unit 2, there's always a short introduction of what we want them to know, and then their objectives for the unit, as well as a few vocabulary words that they can flip. They can take these and put them in any sort of free online vocabulary flashcard maker. And students are able to click. So if you share a unit and say, I want y'all to do the space journal for this unit, which is our lesson that accompanies Middle Galaxy, it will walk the students through how to get into Middle Galaxy. And the point of that, which is to build what's the relationship between skills, abilities, and jobs. We're asking them to set up a table and what they'll learn from that. So it is a very simple version. It's not Canvas. You don't have to have an online cartridge or anything like that, but it does walk them through a lesson at home and or however you want them to do it. And then this is the start of the assessment, self-assessment. So building a personal portfolio. So I'm going to pause my share here or actually I'm just going to stop sharing. If I can do that. So
while you're clicking back and forth, and we pop back because we have some slides on the student modules.
Yeah.
And I put each link in the chat because I know you all are exploring, and we will send all of the links that we've dropped in the follow-up email. I just want to quickly mention that I've been with Texas OnCourse for over 6 years now. And one of the coolest things I think your team has created, Jamie, is the student modules with links so that there are activities, because we got a lot of feedback a very long time ago, right, Jamie? We just, we realize that we have, there's some restraints with or restrictions with the PDF.
Yeah.
And so the student modules, even if you use them outside of the middle school grades, there's some really, really awesome stuff if you can click around and check some of those things out. So I'll let you talk about Unit 1, Jamie.
Yeah. And that is, I was going to say, we're constantly wanting feedback about how to, give you more of what you need in the classroom and to reach more students outside of the classroom. So this was our first attempt at getting out something that's not a PDF and a hard copy, but still keeping that, because I know that that's valuable as well. When the pandemic hit, we needed something that was going to be more than just a paper copy of something. So yes, thank you for saying that, Laura. So Unit 1 is envisioning success. There are some screens from it, but these are all the activities that will help your students start learning about college and career process. There are fill in the blank lessons and brainstorming activities for students. These aren't like Canvas where their answers go to you, but it's still an engaging way that breaks up the reading for their learning with some checks for understanding. Students can go through these modules and start to make informed decisions about what they want and where they can go. And then unit 2, let me find my own stuff. So unit 2 is what I was showing you about careers and career clusters. A lot of working through the different career cluster activities that can tend to be really dense when students are reading through those websites. So it's just a way to break it up and ask them to navigate through it and look for specific things. Unit 3 is all about the introduction for planning and paying for education after high school, and the importance of that. So you see a screenshot here where they talk about the basics of financial aid, the basics of different types of colleges and what's out there. Unit 4 is where they start to plan for high school. Again, pulling back in what they learned from Unit 1. Where do I see myself going? And then how are my choices now affecting that? So they'll learn about their different options for high school. And now we're going to talk about some ways you can implement these different lessons. So the next slide. The college and career TEKS, it's important to understand, are across all of the curriculum. They can be implemented in career and college exploration courses or supplemented in something like your AVID class. Counselors can use these lessons as advising lessons when you go into different classes, but you can also use them as pre-work before an advising session with a student or with the student's family. I also think they would make great content for College Week or for an after-school program that you run. The modules can be sent out and students can work on them in a computer lab together or at home, and then come back to class and talk about what they learned. I think it would be great for a flipped classroom. So those are kind of my ideas, and Laura's going to talk more about different ideas that y'all have shared.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. So we started incorporating Bright Ideas several months ago in our professional learning series. And that is when folks that are coming to our events register and tell us about the ideas and the ways that they're using things in the field, either through counseling, advising, teaching, being an administrator. I've seen people from out of state in this webinar, folks using things in community-based organizations. So we really love to collect all of your bright ideas and share them back out with you all. So we had a lot of really great ideas, even though a lot of folks are beginners and maybe are somewhat familiar with the curriculum, but maybe you need a little bit of a deeper dive because it's just one of those, it's like professional learning and professional development. Like you get all these great ideas, but do you put it on a bookshelf? How do you have time to turn it around and implement it? Takes a whole lot of additional time. So sharing some of the ideas, I think, is really valuable. And our question when you all registered was really simple. And it was just, how have you implemented the college and career readiness curriculum into your practice? Because we have people that have lots of different roles that come to these events. So we use professionals also because people are using the curriculum in a lot of different ways. But we did find several different themes, and these are pretty simple, and it looks different based on your role and your institution, your campus, and where you're at and what type of students you're working with. But the first one, and I think the most significant one, if you don't mind going back, Jared, is for career exploration. So the career TEKS, or the college and career TEKS that Jamie mentioned, fit in so many different ways. We were charged, and we built this curriculum years ago to meet the needs of teaching college and career readiness in 7th and 8th grades. And I have a 6th grader, and she's doing college and career readiness in 6th grade as well. So career exploration, CTE courses that start in middle school grades, lots of different examples of doing career exploration in various ways. So we'll dig into that. The second one is on specific days of the week, and that could be, you see a lot of schools now have themes, where, you know, Wednesday is college admissions day, or you wear a t-shirt, but also maybe that is your advisory day or your ACEs. And maybe in your CTE class, you do career exploration on one of your block days. So just earmarking a specific time and place to use this curriculum to give it some structure. And then the third one is during after school programs or specific programs or grants that you may have at your campus, or time that you have that is dedicated to doing career exploration. Because I think part of the reason it was schools were encouraged and essentially mandated to provide this instruction is because it's hard to fit it in, right? There's a lot of folks teaching English, math, science, social studies, core content, and we know that we have to take the time and give teachers an opportunity to spend time with their students doing this. So these are the 3 themes, and then the next slide has just a little bit of ways that we folks that came elaborated on what they do. So from Uvalde, Consolidated ISD, Patricia, you may not have made it live, but this is one we wanted to highlight. So you have an ACE after school program. A lot of times there's 21st century grant funds out there, gear funds, other funds, very specific after school program funds. Could be Avid, could be something else. But sharing this curriculum, if you have any co-planning time, and helping your support staff understand what's here, even if you take an hour, you know, during a planning meeting, discuss their curriculum, share this with them, share this webinar with them, share the student modules, because they can incorporate it. And the Academy module, which Jared's going to talk about in a minute, is a great way to give educators like a full review and an overview of what's in the curriculum and how to implement this in middle school grades. So we developed a whole module to sort of accompany the curriculum, which is really, really very helpful. So we'll spotlight that in just a second. And then specific days of the week. So we heard from some outreach programs with UTEP. So thank you, Gabriella, for sharing this idea. Every single Wednesday, I provide lessons from the curriculum to my student orientation class. So this is awesome to have student orientation. This would be a schedule. She mentioned sharing a 30-minute lesson from the curriculum each week, and implementing that or sending it out. Student orientation or pathways to success classes. Some of this information is really great for some of your kids in early college, high schools, or that might be starting dual credit also. So introducing your students to those student modules linked is a great support if you're doing this on specific days of the week. And then Jamie already referenced this, but cross-curricular integration. You know, sometimes you'll see writing across the curriculum or math across the curriculum or team teaching in terms of content, where what folks are studying in social studies is also integrated into, let's say, math as an example. So Lockhart ISD, Jeffrey Loya mentioned incorporating into career exploration, soft skills, providing academic support, financial literacy, and workshops. So all of those things can easily be connected and tied to core content areas, CTE pathways. So I think we're starting to see a whole lot more career exploration now that we've given more people, more educators, more tools, right? So there's a whole lot more in this curriculum than studying like a salary and a job and looking through, where those kinds of things are offered. So there's really creative things in the curriculum. And then one other recommendation here is to, and use your high school students, encourage your high school students to do career pathways in Unit 2. Even if they have identified an endorsement in 8th grade, many of them switch it, hopefully early on in high school rather than later on in high school. And that career pathways unit can give them a lot of great ideas on, they change their minds. They're 16 and 15. So that can help give them some self-reflection and some additional exploration across many different subjects beyond career courses.
And I would like to quickly add on to that. Even in Unit 4, if you're working with high schoolers, that that the lesson that's find your path, it's still good for high schoolers to go back and self-reflect on their course selection and their course plan and think about, am I still on track with this information that I've learned about myself and where I want to go? So it's not too late to go back and think about those things, even if it's a unit labeled, high school plan. It's still good for the high schoolers to go back and do some of those.
Agreed. Thank you, Jamie. All right. I think Jared's going to spotlight some of these Academy resources.
Yes, yeah, thank you, Laura. So our first resource in the Academy Spotlight is the Starting Early College and Career Readiness in Middle School. The goal of this module is to make sure that educators really understand the components of like the college and career readiness curriculum. That is super important. You understanding it means that your students will understand it as well, and you can teach them the best way that you can, for sure. And so another goal that we have is learning about the different strategies that are used in the curriculum, which can include like group activities that your students or that you can conduct amongst your students to make sure that they do learn the college and career readiness curriculum as well. And then of course you will learn about the TEKS alignment in this module.
And I went ahead and dropped that link in the Academy. I would love to just really quickly pause here. And if you have anything you want to share or say in the chat about your experience with the Academy, please do. You may or may not have been in the Academy yet if you're joining this webinar. I'm sorry the link is so long. We will we will send out the shortened link. But this is great access to this module among many, many other things that are in the Academy. In addition to the middle school college and career readiness module Jared's mentioning.
And our next resource in the Academy Spotlight is the Instructional Strategies for Middle School. This is a really, really helpful module. It highlights many PDF resources that we offer at Texas OnCourse. It also offers just strategies for like collaborative grouping. My two personal like activities in this module are talk, read, talk, write, and collaborative grouping, mainly because I'm a people person, I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoy talking amongst others, and that's what helps me learn. Everybody's different, of course, but those are my two personal favorites, and they definitely have helped me out a lot. So definitely recommend checking out the instructional strategies. And then our final resource is the Academy and Curriculum Alignment. This resource highlights gathered modules, webinars, blogs, and PDFs from each of our topic areas at Texas OnCourse. It also can help you create a professional development plan as well for yourself on topics that matter to your students, which of course would be like the college and career readiness curriculum, and just make sure that they're, using just educational language as well. Of course, I do want to have a social media plug here for a second. Follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is at Texas OnCourse. We're currently at 530 followers. Hoping to get to 600 followers by the end of by the end of the academic year. Really love our Instagram page. We have promotional social media posts, which highlights our professional learning series and our coffee chats. But we also have like informational posts to help y'all out too. We offer financial aid tips, exam tips, even scholarship deadline tips as well, and college prep information as well too. And now we have time for some questions and comments.
If you would like, you can pop a question or comment either in the chat or the Q&A box. Jamie is here. Thank you for following us on Instagram, Letitia. That is great. Also, we are hoping to continue to share share more resources on Instagram. We have, social media presence in several different places, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and that sort of thing. And I see one question from Stephanie. Can the units be integrated into Canvas? Jamie, do you want to take that one?
So, to the best of my knowledge, which I'm going to quickly message our instructional designer who is way more experienced than I am on this, but I don't believe H5P can be integrated into Canvas easy, like a common cartridge uploaded type thing. But let me just quickly ask him and double check.
Yes, I think you're right, Jamie. I mean, for now, the links that we shared are web-based, and those were created to simplify the process. We formerly had something like a set of instructions where you could connect this with. It might not have been Canvas, it could be Schoology or another platform. But initially with the feedback that we got, the web-based was easiest.
And so we wanted something that was just going to not have any barriers to access. We also had high school student modules, but those are being integrated into My Texas Future, which if you haven't explored, plug for the next, I can't remember, it's not Coffee Chat, but it's one of the other professional learning series.
Yes, we have a couple on My Texas Future
Yeah.
in May, in the spring outreach and in the
Yes.
professional learning session.
Okay. Travis gave me the answer of depends what you mean by integrated. So I don't think it's a simple, straightforward way to put it in H5P into Canvas. But yeah, that's that.
So there is also a question in the Q&A. Are there worksheets or activities that we can access?
Sorry. How do teachers assess the students' understanding?
Sorry.
Using the online units. So the online units basically are almost lesson per lesson way where students can walk through the lesson, and it has instructions of on a piece of paper, write your answer to this, submit it to your teacher. So that's the way that you'll be able to assess. Also, there are assessment banks. If they do the online student modules, if you give a quiz in class, likely they will be able to demonstrate their learning that way.
Yeah, in the Q&A chat, Jamie, Amanda Bradbury asked, are there worksheets or activities that they can access?
Oh, the worst. So let me go back and look. There are templates there that they can access, but nothing like a Google sheet that they can write in and submit to you. But we tried to make it to where the PDF version, the hard copy version that they're doing in class, if they go home, read through the student online module, they would submit to you the same thing. It's just not a paper worksheet that's printed out. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, and I'm just with responding, I can respond live. We hope there's a comment on this content being applicable to all sizes of school. So
Yes.
your teeny tiny 1As and your rural and your really big, schools that have 800 freshmen.
Mhm.
We definitely try to make sure that the content is relevant. Of course, there's certain course pathways and offerings that are
Yeah.
specific to schools. And schools don't have to offer every endorsement.
Yeah.
So there's always a little bit of variability there, but we do find that lots of different size schools with very different demographics
Mhm.
utilize the curriculum in lots of different ways. So that's great feedback.
And we are always getting feedback and trying to implement as soon as possible. And with the curriculum, one goal is to add in more assessment-based items. The other is to also update with links to our newest resource, My Texas Future. My Texas Future, and the links that we share are Texas related. Which should be pulling from data from the Texas Workforce Commission. So if they're in My Texas Future, they can search for a region and area. And we're hoping to add that information into the curriculum. So check back each year, download each year to make sure you're getting the most updated version to incorporate the feedback that you guys give us.
Other questions or comments? Okay. Well, if you think of anything else, Jared will work on our follow-up email. We had hundreds of people, a couple hundred folks register for this. And if you could take just a couple of minutes, this is really short feedback. We're always taking feedback, changing what we do, changing our format of things. We're making plans for the 24-25 school year, of course. So if you have any suggestions for us, we will provide a document when Jared sends that out, and you have all of our emails. So we like to hear from you all. Thank you all so much. You'll get that follow-up email in a couple of business days. And it was great to see you all this morning. Have a great rest of your week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining
You.
us.